time to break down this Cardinals win with our 12 Sports insider, Tim Ring of Arizona Sports 98.7 FM. Now let's talk about how this game ended, because the Saints and the Cardinals kept it interesting.
A little too interesting.
Too interesting. It was great to see Spencer Rattler, local guy, have a moment, but what'd you make of that final drive?
Well, I know Spencer Rattler, for a brief moment, started to celebrate. He thought this game was going to be tied, assuming, of course, they make the extra point, or I assume Kellen Moore wouldn't go for 2 points in that situation. But the problem is, Lina and Jake, when you let a team hang around, and I'm not telling Cardinal fans anything they don't know, when you let a team hang around and you leave points and you leave plays on the field, you leave yourself in a position where an NFL team, I don't care if you're a bad NFL team or not, you have a chance to come down and tie that football game. And, you know, you can talk about, we talked about this on the post-game show on the radio. You can talk, guys, about schemes and game plans and coaching staffs. Sometimes it comes down to making critical plays at critical times. And you take a look at this play here, the penultimate play of the game. Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson, they weren't sure right after the game which one broke that ball up. I think it was Baker, the way he was like a heat-seeking missile.
Whoever it was,
and
they made the play.
Thompson had his arm in there, and Budda came flying in. Rabbit was back there too, but on the high replay, you see that he really wasn't anywhere near the receiver. But they made a play. And you talk about making critical plays at critical times. The Cardinal defense needed to make a play, and they did it on that play. And then the fourth and final play was a little less dramatic, but they got the job done on that play as well.
Yeah. 4 straight incompletions there on that last possession really sealed the deal. In terms of individual player performances that stood out today, guy on the offensive side of the ball, Marvin Harrison Jr., he looked like he's slowly taking that step in year 2. And then on the defensive side, Will Johnson had multiple moments, one of which was taken away from a penalty, and then he laid the boom on Chris Olave at one point in the second half.
Yeah, Jake, let's start with Will Johnson. He didn't play well for a rookie today. He played well, period. I mean, I think we saw Will Johnson, why he was so highly regarded coming out of Michigan, really should have been a first-round pick. I didn't think he was necessarily the best Cardinal defensive back on the field today. He was the best defensive back in the game today for both teams. The 3 passes defended, should have had a pick. I'm not sure what that penalty on Max Melton was there. It didn't look like much. They took a pick away from the rookie, but Johnson with the big hits as well, almost killing Ohio State's Chris Olave. I wonder if he had a little extra mustard on that.
Oh, you don't say, right?
In the fourth quarter. That's about as big time as you get. May go down as the hit of the year for the season here for the Cardinals in week 1. So I thought he was great. And quickly, Marvin Harrison Jr., guys. Harrison Jr., 5 catches, 71 yards. Probably could have had 170 yards receiving if Kyler put that one on the money, and a couple of touchdowns, as it is for Harrison Jr. Again, not gaudy numbers, but impactful. Okay, he impacted winning today in a way that he didn't often do in his rookie season in 2024. That's what you want to see. Trey McBride was Trey McBride,
right?
And Marvin Harrison met the expectations today.
Yeah, on the flip side, I was personally concerned with the amount of times Kyler Murray was on the ground. 5 sacks given up by this O-line. What else might concern you about this team moving forward, or what you saw today?
You know, the thing about Kyler's sacks is a few of those were in the first quarter when they were coverage sacks, but Kyler then would just kind of run out of bounds and take a loss. Ross Tucker on the broadcast talked about the offensive linemen hate that because it goes down as a sack.
Right.
Kyler, just throw the ball away when you're outside the pocket. You won't lose the yards, and it won't be a sack. But, yeah, some offensive line breakdowns late, Lina, when they were trying to extend drives, and Kyler ended up on his back. That's a concern, but I think they'll get that cleaned up. The Cardinals have a good offensive line. I'll tell you my biggest area of concern on the offensive side, guys, this number 2, number 3, and number 4 wide receiver issue for the Cardinals. We knew it was a question mark going in, and they did nothing today to dispel those concerns. Michael Wilson, 1 catch, 5 yards. Zay Jones, 1 catch, 4 yards. Dortch, 1 catch, -2 yards. So we'll combine 3 catches for a net 7 yards in the game. They got to get more. I know it's going to be Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, and that's fine. But if you're going to be good teams in this league, we don't know if the Saints are going to be good. I'm going to guess that they won't turn out to be all that great. But if you're going to be good teams, guys, you got to get more out of those other wide receivers beyond Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
To another team that probably won't be any good this year, looking ahead quickly to week 2 of the season. The Panthers come to town, did not look prepared to play today in week 1 of the season. But on the other hand, they're a team that's given the Cardinals some problems.
Yeah, you know, since that NFC Championship game, they've played 8 times, counting that game. The Panthers have won the last 7. I thought the Cardinals were a better team last year. Maybe they took them lightly. They ended up losing the game. So at this point right now, if you're Jonathan Gannon, you love this scenario, right? We didn't play great. There's a lot to clean up, a lot to work on. I'm going to have my guys' attention this week. But all this happened under the umbrella of a 1-0 start. A win today in a place that's historically tough to play for anybody. In fact, the Saints rarely lose on week one. They had the longest winning streak in the NFL in season opening games coming into today's game. So the Cardinals go down there, they get a win, a ton to work on. I think JG, he'll have their attention this week. I think they're going to play a better football game, guys, and I'd be shocked if they're not 2-0 when we're sitting here next week.